Taylor, Scientific Management. Taylor believed that by analyzing work in a scientific manner, it was possible to find the one best way to perform a task. He stated the only motivation of employees was their pay. Key principles. Let us look into the 4 key principles of Taylor's scientific management. Number 1. Using scientific method of studying work. Replace working by rule of thumb or simple habit and common sense, and instead use the scientific method to study work and determine the most efficient way to perform specific tasks. Number 2. Matching skills to jobs. Rather than simply assign workers to just any job, match workers to their jobs based on capability and motivation, and train them to work at maximum efficiency. Number 3. Performance monitoring. Monitor worker performance and provide instructions and supervision to ensure that they are using the most efficient ways of working. Number 4. Work allocation between managers and workers. Allocate the work between managers and workers so that the managers spend their time planning and training, allowing the workers to perform their tasks efficiently. The Human Relations School. The human relations approach is also known as neoclassical approach. It attempts to explain the informal relations among employers and employees are concerned with moral and psychological rather than legal aspects of an organization. Mayo argued that employee behavior depends primarily on group relations and management-worker communication, rather than working practices or physical conditions, for example, lighting and noise. Wage levels were not the dominant motivating factor for most workers. Ultimately, worker attitudes, group relationships, and leadership style were the key factors that determined productivity. Drucker, 5 basic operations. Drucker described the jobs of management within this basic function of economic performance as follows. A. Managing a business. B. Managing managers. C. Managing workers and work. Drucker grouped the work of the manager into 5 categories. Number 1. Setting objectives for the organization. Number 2. Organizing the work. Number 3. Motivating employees and communicating information to them. Number 4. The job of measurement or performance appraisal. Number 5. Developing people. His main focus was economic performance through setting objectives and controlling performance. Set objectives. Goals are set, strategy is adopted, objectives and targets are effectively communicated to employees. Organize. Tasks are analyzed, decisions are taken with regard to work allocation. Motivate and communicate. Employees are made into teams and motivated. Establish yardsticks. Continuous performance evaluation is done based on targets and key performance measures. Managers analyze, appraise, and interpret performance. Develop people. Continuous professional development of employees are ensured. MINTZBERG-THE 10 skills of the manager. The 10 roles as per MINTZBERG are: Number 1. Figurehead. Number 2. Leader. Number 3. Liaison. Number 4. Monitor. Number 5. Disseminator. Number 6. Spokesperson. Number 7. Entrepreneur. Number 8. Disturbance Handler. Number 9. Resource Allocator. Number 10. Negotiator. These different roles were also divided into 3 main categories: interpersonal, informational, and decisional. Interpersonal management roles. The managerial roles in this category involve providing information and ideas. Figurehead. As a manager, you have social, ceremonial, and legal responsibilities. You are expected to be a source of inspiration. People look up to you as a person with authority and as a figurehead. Leader. This is where you provide leadership for your team, your department, or perhaps your entire organization. And it's where you manage the performance and responsibilities of everyone in the group. Liaison. Managers must communicate with internal and external contacts. You need to be able to network effectively on behalf of your organization. Informational management roles. The managerial roles in this category involve processing information. Monitor. In this role, you regularly seek out information related to your organization and industry, looking for relevant changes in the environment. You also monitor your team in terms of both their productivity and their well-being. Disseminator. This is where you communicate potentially useful information to your colleagues and your team. Spokesperson. Managers represent and speak for their organization. In this role, you are responsible for transmitting information about your organization and its goals to the people outside it. Decisional management roles. The managerial roles in this category involve using information. Entrepreneur. As a manager, you create and control change within the organization. This means solving problems, generating new ideas, and implementing them. Disturbance Handler. When an organization or team hits an unexpected roadblock, it's the manager who must take charge. You also need to help mediate disputes within it. Resource Allocator. You will also need to determine where organizational resources are best applied. This involves allocating funding as well as assigning staff and other organizational resources. Negotiator. You may be needed to take part in and direct important negotiations within your team, department, or organization.